Okay, and welcome. We're going to talk through your 90-day profitability action plan and how you can get your business more profitable than it's ever been before. Let's dive in. So it's designed to fix the core financial issues that are holding your business back. This is supposed to be super tactical and founder-friendly, and it's a tool that you could help you maximize your profits as soon as possible. No big, long-winded 12-month programs. In 90 days, let's get your margin as high as possible. So we've split this program into 3 30-day sprints to make up that 90 days. Days 0 to 30, we're gonna look, cash flow's probably tight, your pricing's probably too low, and you're underpricing your expertise. So we're gonna solve that pricing challenge in the first 30 days. The second 30 days, days 31 to 60, we're gonna have a look at, you're probably working hard, but not profitable enough. And we need to look at efficiency. How efficient is your business being with the team you have and doing the delivery work? So that's the efficiency challenge we're going to solve. And then days 61 to 90, we need to address your mindset and your discipline in staying profitable as the business scales. And profit needs to be a habit and needs to be built in. And that's what we're going to address in those final 30 days. So let's dive into it. Okay, so our first 30, we're going to raise prices and fix our strategy. We're going to improve cash flow, speed up payments, and we're going to do an expense review and eliminate low value costs. This is what I call like the low hanging fruit. Everyone can do this. You can do it. Play along at home. I've got some more detailed, nuanced way I can do that I help my clients with, but this high level guide is more than enough to get you started. Step 1, we're going to raise our prices and fix our pricing strategy. From what I've seen, most businesses undercharge relative to the staff they're paying and all the overheads they're running. And we can't cut our way to profit. We will look at overheads, but most of the margin gains is going to be in the pricing increases. So point number 1, increase all your prices for new clients by at least 10 to 20% immediately. That's simple. You can get it done. Next, we're going to A/B test price resistance. So maybe we want to push the next 3 proposals you send out to the max to 20% price increase, right? Let's see how many rejections we get. We want to test the price elasticity, learn from that, and then creep it up again if possible. Number 3, you need to stop blended hourly rates. The weighted average charge out rate that a lot of agencies work with becomes a massive problem as the agency grows and you get more and more senior people on your team. That weighted average charge out rate doesn't make sense anymore because every time you give someone a pay rise, your margin is being eroded. So senior work should cost more and you should price accordingly. The next one is actually designed to help you work out what that should be. Your minimum baseline charge out for anyone should be at least 3.5 times what you're paying them. So in this example, you're paying someone $50 an hour, all in, say including super and everything. Their charge out rate should be at minimum 175. That's the baseline. For some people, it should be more in theory, but that's to make sure that you're not undercharging. That's kind of like a floor that we're putting in. That's not a ceiling of the max you should charge. Next one, charge for strategy and discovery. So this is a really common one I see that people might do free onboarding or, like a try and show their wares to the client to impress them right before they get them in the door. That needs to be charged. And I've seen agencies move from doing that for free, doing it for 5K. Some are now doing it for 15K. You need to build the value into it and make sure it's a super valuable product, but people will pay it if they can see the value, and doing it for free gets you nowhere because you're spending labor hours on this stuff and money's walking out the door. And finally, introduce premium pricing tiers for high value clients. So if you get a big tier 1 client that comes in the door, you need to have a product that you can sell to them that is super valuable and high margin. If you don't have that kind of gold standard package, people can't buy it. So introduce something that's super high value that also positions you as an expert. Okay, step 2 in our first 30-day sprint is to improve our cash flow and speed up payments. Businesses don't go broke from a lack of revenue, they go broke from a lack of cash flow. Or usually more likely, they can't make payroll anymore, and then people stop working for them, and then that's the end of the business. So step 1, move all new clients to upfront payment. Billing first of the month in advance for retainers is ideal. If that's not possible, I understand. Let's shorten those terms down from 30. Can we do 14-day terms? Can we do 7-day terms? No more 30 or 60-day waits for cash. Second point is on projects. We should build them at set time increments rather than on completion. Common way that I see people do it, super common in like web dev, is 50% upfront and then 50% on completion. But the client lags all the deliverables and we can never actually get that second 50%. So do deposit increments set to time, like after 30 days, after 60 days. So you are still collecting cash and your cash flow is still under control rather than putting it on the client delivering things that may or may not happen. Point number 3, audit all your outstanding invoices regularly, like a hawk. I do that with all my clients on every single one of our meetings, and enforce strict payment follow-ups. Do it nicely, but you need to enforce your terms, otherwise people won't listen to you. Next point, automate invoicing and follow-ups with a firm but friendly tone. You can use Xero auto invoice reminders for this. Just make sure you've reconciled everything before they go out, but that's one way to automate things. Or the next point is to create a separate email alias and do it slightly more personal. So this helps separate the roles. Say you've got the founder, being the main point of contact, and you've got the accounts department chasing invoices, but actually the founder can just be using that email and sending it as Kate at your agency or whatever example you want to do, to separate those roles and kind of duties, because it is kind of awkward chasing people for money. So this gives you a nice alias or a cover to be politely chasing under a different kind of communication channel. And then the final one, maintain at least 2 months worth of operating cash at all times. 2 to 3 months of operating expenses would be ideal. Some people do 6, but basically 2 is the minimum you should be holding. And that's if you have some cash flow problems, you've got some cash reserves to get you through. Okay. Final step, expense review. Here we're going to cut waste, renegotiate, and make sure every dollar drives profit. I want you to take a zero-based budgeting approach to every expense in your business. Imagine your P&L from last year, strip away every single expense that is on that P&L, and then make it re-justify itself to come along this year. So we're going back to zero. Does it add back now? Don't just keep things on there because we've been paying them or they're a subscription you've forgotten about. Make them justify their cost. And then the next one, categorize and cut unnecessary expenses or renegotiate a better deal. So you've taken this zero-based budgeting mindset. Now let's renegotiate with certain suppliers. You don't ask, you don't get. So let's make sure we're getting the best deal possible for every expense. Number 3, reduce the founder ego expenses. I often see this, especially if founders have had a good year. They're much more likely to start spending money on things that the business may not necessarily need. That expensive leased German car. It might be a slightly better office with a better fit out. It might be a few more long lunches or some gray area personal expenses. Going through the business, cut them. I want to be as lean as possible, especially if you want to sell your business one day. If you have to justify, we would have had better margins for all those years, but I was just running a bunch through the business. It's not a professional look, and we want to know what the true operational profit of the business is. So cut them out. Next one, review contractor and freelancer spends. Super common for agencies to use subcontractors, of course, but make sure that those costs are going down when you don't have any work for them and you're not just keeping them around, because they are often some of the most expensive costs of the business. So make sure that if they're not mission critical, that we're pausing them or cutting them. Next one is analyze your marketing spend. Obviously, we all need to do marketing in business, but make sure you're getting the best return on investment possible. Maybe there's lower cost channels that are actually better for you, activating word of mouth or partnerships that may not be as expensive as filling your funnel with paid stuff. But you're the marketing expert. I'll let you work out what the best channel is, but make sure you're just looking at the return on investment and cut anything that we're not actually getting good leads from. And then the final one is to schedule a call regularly in your calendar to look at your expenses. I like to think about maintaining a lean business a bit like gardening. Over time, things build up in the garden. You need to do some weeding, you need to maintain it. Same with expenses. Over time, you kind of buy something because you're excited or you sign up to that subscription, but it's not always needed. So you need to regularly look at it, make sure it's only the bare essentials. So the key lesson from this first 30-day sprint is to raise your prices, cut all waste, and get paid as quick as possible. Pretty simple, right? Let's look ahead. So we just covered days 1 to 30. Next up, we've got days 31 to 60, and we're gonna have a look at client profitability review, team efficiency fixes, and remove some revenue instability in your business. Thanks for watching. If some of this struck a chord and you'd like some help actually executing on this, I've got the checklists and some more frameworks to help you actually do all of this. Feel free to get in touch at trimline.co. Thanks for watching.